Hi everyone, Amy here with Amy's Wares, and I have a fun mom card to share using multiple stencils here. Now this is the Queen of Moms stencil. It's newer to the shop, and this is the brand new script stencil from A Colorful Life Designs. I have some card panels here, some blending brushes and inks from Catherine Pooler, and I'm going to put together a fun mom birthday card here to share with you. Here are a couple photos of the finished card to show you the direction that we're headed, but this came together really quickly and it was fun to combine a couple of these new stencils to create this card. So here I'm working on a panel of 120-pound accent opaque cardstock. I'm just kind of lining this up to figure out where I want it on the composition. I'm just being mindful to make sure that I have even spacing on both sides of the card, and I am kind of pushing it more towards the top of the card panel to leave some room on the bottom. And I will just mask off this area so I don't get ink where I don't want it on this card panel. And I have some 2-inch Post-it tape here. Now I'm going to use some mint tape here just to temporarily mask off the crown in this because I want to do them different colors. So I'm just holding the whole thing down with the magnets on my magnetic glass mat, and I'm starting off with just some residual ink on my blending brush. So I have blending brushes for every color family. This is my teal one, and I'm just starting off with kind of, a heavy hand, but still it's slightly muted because I'm not pulling any ink directly from an ink pad. I'm just kind of laying down this first layer of teal color, and then I'm going to come in with more saturated teal and go over the mom with this new script stencil. Now this script stencil is a mid-month release, so this just came out mid-June, and the mom came out mid-April. So this is kind of a new thing that Mary Kay in the shop is trying out. So she'll release one special stencil kind of in the middle of the month. So this script one is for June, and it is awesome. I haven't seen a stencil like this. I've seen stamps that kind of have a little bit of a scripty look, but I've never seen a stencil. So this one is really cool, and I'm excited to have it in my crafty stash because not only does it look like script, but in this case you could just make it look like kind of a fun, design element to add. So it's going to be really versatile, and I'm excited to have it in my stash for sure. So here I've just kind of masked off the top of the letters, and now I'm coming in with some yellow residual ink just to fill in the crown portion, and then some orange residual ink to go on the sides to kind of make it look a little bit like reflective gold. So I could come in more saturated in color, but again, I want to keep it kind of subtle in this design. Now I'm just going to pull everything back and show you where we're at so far. And this is cool as is, but I want to bring in more of that awesome script. So here I'm just going to lay the script over the entire card front, and then just come in with some light residual gray ink from my black blending brush just to kind of add more of this script all over the background. Now I realize I could have probably saved that step and not done the dark teal over the mom. I think it would have created the same look if I would have just done the gray over the teal letters. I think it would have created the same look. Here I'm just kind of avoiding going over with the gray over the letters because I already did that, but I think I could have saved time and just not done the extra teal step and just done the gray over the entire thing, and it would have created the same look. So, that's how you learn. Do it differently next time. But either way, it created the look that I was going for. Now here I have one of my storage books. I have one for my sentiment strips, which is the one you're seeing here. I have one for my die cut sentiments, and I have one for my critters, which are stamped and fussy cut or die cut out. So these strips are actually from All to New. It's this really cool stamp set where it stamps out a bunch of sentiments, and then there's one die that cuts them all out in those fun shapes. And they just happen to work perfect in terms of the colors, so I picked out a couple of those, one for the front and one for the inside. And here I'm going to cut down the panel so it gives it a little bit more of a finished look. These are my Paper Rose stitched edge rectangle dies, and I'm just going to line it up again so there's nice even margin around the design, but I'm going to use my mint tape to hold that down onto the panel, and then I will run that through off screen through my die cutting machine. So that will cut it slightly smaller than A2 size, and it will have a little bit of a white border when I attach it to a card base, but it gives it that really cool stitched edge look, which just adds another little design element and kind of takes it to the next level. So here I'm using my tape runner. I'm just going to attach this down directly to a card base. It's that same 120-pound accent opaque, which is great for, nice heavyweight card bases. And this is just what I've been working on since I ran out of my Nina Classic Crest. So I tend to switch between this accent opaque and 110-pound Nina. So kind of whatever I have on hand, but those tend to be my two go-tos. So this one I have Hope Your Wishes Come True. I'm going to use some of these little foam strips. I get these from Amazon. You get like 10 sheets, I think. So I think it's probably like 500 strips. I've never even gotten through an entire package. I think I've given some away and I use them all the time, and I've still never even gotten through one order. So it's a really good price point. I'll link that in the video description box below with all the other products that I used. But it's just going to give it a little bit of dimension to pop up the sentiment on the front of the card. And then I will liquid glue the other one on the inside of the card. But here I'm just going to add some blingage, and I have a white gel pen here. I'm just going to add some highlights because, again, I want this to really look like a reflective gold. So I'm just going to put a few little marks. It's pretty subtle because, the yellow isn't super dark, but it does add a little something extra to it. You can see here. And then I'm going to add this blingage, which I also got from my recent order from A Colorful Life Designs. It's just fun little sequins. There's no holes in them, but they're all different sizes, and these are white and some are holographic. So it's a nice look to kind of go with the white and gray, and kind of, just doesn't take away from anything, but adds a little bit of something extra to the front of the card. So I'm using my liquid glue and my jewel picker tool and doing 3 on the top, 2 on the bottom, and then those holographic ones kind of pick up the colors around it. So they look almost blue, but it's really just kind of picking up the ink color. So that's going to finish the card. Came together in a snap. I am a little obsessed with this new script stencil. So if you want it, I will link it in the video description box below. Be sure to use my coupon AmyFan10 if you shop, and you'll save 10% on your complete order. Oh yeah, here I decided to add just a little script on the inside with just some very, very subtle, very light ink blending, just to kind of continue that design onto the inside of the card. So very subtle, but gives it a little, extra surprise. So that's going to finish the card. Thank you so much for spending time with me today. If you enjoyed this, please hit the thumbs up. And like I said, the links will be below. And if you follow those, I will make a small commission at no additional cost to you. And it's a great way to support your favorite YouTubers. So thanks again. I'll catch you next time. Bye.